Hey everybody, it's Miss Tracy here at Miss Tracy Creates, and I'm excited to be with you because it's Friday, and Friday means craft and chat. So I want you to make time to be creative with me this week during today's craft and chat. First off, just come say hi. Come say hi. Let me know that you're here. Maybe tell me where you're watching from. I'm always interested in that. And I'm going to be sharing a fabric fun workshop with you today. So I'm going to be showing you how to make these adorable patchwork coasters. Super cute, super easy, even if you don't have a sewing machine. Okay, so you can hand stitch these. If you do have a sewing machine, you can dust it off, pull it out, and use that either way. But these are easily made by hand. Okay. I actually really enjoy hand stitching. That's my thing. I love just pulling that needle and the thread through the fabric. There's just something really soothing and relaxing about that to me. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be making today. So, if you love fabric, I'm going to tell you to just stay right here, keep watching. And even if you're not sure about this, just come watch. Let me show you how easy it is to create these. They're just so super cute. Hi, everybody. Oh, I set off the fireworks, didn't I? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Janet and Teresa. Hello, Paula. Hi, Rose. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Lynn. It's 11 Central here, so it's still morning. It's still morning. Some of you it might be it's afternoon, I guess, close to on the East Coast. Hi, Janet. Hi, Laura. Hello, Leanne. Hi, Lynn. All right, awesome. Hello, Sue. Hi, Christine. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are here. I see a lot of my Fabric Fan Club members watching. Yay! Let's give it up for the Fabric Fan Club. I do have a membership group that is all about fabric and thread and freestyle hand stitching, which is like doodling with thread. It's super fun. We have a great time in there. And so I told them, I was in a workshop with them last night, and I told them, I said, you got to come watch Craft and Chat today because I have a fabric fun segment, and I know you're going to love it. So happy Friday to you all. Thank you for tuning in. I have some of you watching from my Facebook page. I also have some of you watching from my YouTube channel. So hey to the YouTubers and hey to the Facebookers. And also want to say hey to everybody that's going to be watching the replay of this. The replay will be available for you to watch. And yeah, I'm ready to dig in if you are. You guys ready? Yes, yes. If you want to sprinkle this out, definitely please do to your crafty friends and family. That would be awesome. Let's spread the word about having fun with fabric. Okay. Yes. All right. So let me show you first what these are going to look like finished. All right. I'm going to show you one that is finished, and then I'm going to show you how basically just what to do. And it's like I said, it's super easy. You guys are going to love this. So this is one of my finished coasters. All right. I'm going to turn it over so you can see. It's got a solid color on here, but look, see how the fabric overlaps, and there's even a different fabric inside here. It is so cute. They're so cute, and they are so easy. And this is like a bigger cup. It has the bigger bottom, and I just want to show you how, yes, your coaster, I don't know if I can get it right on the camera here, but your coaster is going to fit really nicely on even your bigger cups or even your mugs of coffee. I'm going to be doing a coffee themed one here in just a second as well. So you're going to love this. If you're in my Fabric Fan Club, you guys, these coasters are the perfect thing to make when you're like done with some of your major projects and you just have random fabrics left over because they're so cute as patchwork, right? So as I get started today, one of the things that we've realized with Craft and Chat is that you guys really, really like to use what I'm using, right? Like you want to, like if I show you something, okay, this is when I kind of have prepped and ready to go. If I show you something, you guys really, really seem to want it. So I had my prep team put together some of the bundles of the fabrics I'm using. This one right here Okay, this one, we're calling it's basically our little summer theme. It's super cute. So all six, there's 6 different fabrics used on these coasters, 6 different fabrics. So we bundled these together for you. And then on the coffee ones, let me hold up a coffee one here. Here's one that's not, well, I have them in different stages. This one isn't stitched yet. This one's starting to be stitched. So we even did some coffee bundles for you. So if, and then we have other fabrics that we have on sale right now. So we're going to post a link in case you're interested and want to go check out the sale. Everything has been deeply discounted over there. And if you've shopped for fabric in a while, you know, fabric's pretty costly, and especially right now. So it's a great time for you to enjoy some savings and maybe try your hand at making your own fabric coasters. I'm so excited about these. So we're going to jump into this right now. Susan Lyles is with me in the chat today, so she's going to be helping out to post links for you. I also have a link to our little sale options of fabrics posted up in the description on Craft and Chat today. Okay. Arlene, you're funny. She says, yes, I want all the things. Me too. There's rarely been a fabric I've met that I didn't like. Okay, so here's what you're going to do to make your coasters. You're going to start with 5x5s. Yep, that's the only cut you need to make is a 5x5 square. Now, all of the cuts, 5x5, super easy to remember. So as I mentioned, I like using multiple patterns. I love mixing patterns so that these get kind of a patchwork feel. I think they're just so cute. So I'm going to show you. These are the patterns I'm laying out here. And I'm going to show you how we're going to put these together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is number 6. I love this fabric. This fabric reminds me of like oilcloth. Do y'all know oilcloth? Yeah, it's just so cute. So I love this kind of color combo. I think it's really cute for summer. So we're going to need to make one coaster. To make one coaster, you're going to need 6 5x5 squares. Okay, and I'll show you how to kind of pull these together here in just a second. Okay, and then in the fabric bundle, just in case you want to see the fabrics in the coffee bundle, sorry, in the coffee bundle, I'll show you what these are. They're really cute. The little coffee words. Some of these fabrics have been in past bundles, so if you're a Fabric Fan Club member, you'll remember some of these. Coffee beans, isn't that cute? This one has, again, coffee words. And then I paired it with this pretty kind of diamond check. Aren't they cute? Really, really cute and fun. So these are the 2 bundles that we put together for you, for those of you that want to try your hand at making fabric coasters. But of course, you could totally make these on your own from your stash. You know, you could do that as well. So as I mentioned, we're going to start with 5x5s. So I'm going to pull these over here. Let's use these pretty summery ones. And I have my iron over here because what we need are 6 5x5 squares. Okay. And now I'm going to choose 2 of them. I like mixing them up so they're not always exactly the same. So I'm going to use this one and this one. I think I'll use the yellow and this one, and I'll use these 2. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm separating my 6 squares. I need 2 that are going to stay as squares. Okay, so I'm going to keep these 2 as squares. Okay, so we'll set those over here to the side. I have a bunch of these already ready to go because I can't wait. By the way, just so you know, if you have a fat quarter of fabric, okay, you can get 12 5x5 squares. So I think the perfect amount, like if you were going to make these to gift to someone, or you're going to make these even to sell, or even for yourself, to me, I think a set of 6 coasters is perfect. I think 6 is a good number. 4 seems like too few, 8 seems like too many. I just feel like 6 is a really good number. Okay. So it works out great. So one fat quarter is going to give you 12 squares. You can use the same fabrics. You could use 3 fabrics, cut them twice, right? Or you can be like me and want to put together 6 different fabrics. So with the 4 squares that I picked out, we're going to be taking these and we're going to iron over them. So I'm going to be folding them in half. Okay, just fold. They're squares, so super easy to do this. I'm just going to fold them in half. But 2 squares are going to stay squares. So yeah, we call this the hot dog fold in paper crafting. So I guess we could call it the hot dog fold in fabric crafting, I guess. Okay, so I have these folded over and I've already got my iron heated up back here, but I'm going to take my iron now and I'm just going to press over these. Make sure I have it. I think I have it turned on. Okay. So we're going to press these down. We want to make sure that we have a nice crease on that fold. I just plugged this in, turned it on. So hopefully, I think it's hot enough. Yeah. And you also want your squares to not have like creases and things in them. So if they need to be ironed, you could iron those too. Okay. So now that I have these ironed, and it's really just to press in that crease, that fold, we're going to start layering our coaster. So I'm going to put these up here, and I'm going to grab the 2 squares. Now it's going to be important. We're going to make a coaster sandwich here, okay? And I know I use these silly references, but they really do help you remember. They really do, okay? They do. So as we put these down, I'm going to go ahead and put this one face down. Okay, one has to be face down. One needs to be face up. Okay, so with your squares, one needs to be face down and one needs to be face up. Okay, got that? Okay, now the other thing you're going to need is we need to put it's kind of like think of it like a faux batting in between in our coaster sandwich, okay, in our sandwich here. And so what I'm using is called fusible fleece. We actually sell this in our shop. So Susan, if you don't mind, if you'll post the link to the fusible fleece. It's great because it's like felt. It feels like felt, really soft on one side. The other side has kind of a scratchy feel to it. That is adhesive. But the great thing about this is you can wash it. It's not a problem. You can wash these, and we'll talk about that at the end. This adhesive, when we iron over it, it's going to melt and grab the fabric. And so it gives our coasters some stability. Okay, gives them some stability. So I'm actually going to be using also my twist up glue stick here. So this is a temporary, sorry, I'm trying to show you the picture here. This is a temporary fabric glue stick. We use these all the time in the Fabric Fan Club, and they are amazing because they help hold your pieces together temporarily. So while you're hand stitching, you don't have to have pins and everything. You don't have to have everything fused down because sometimes you want to move things around, switch things out. So it's very nice, and it does not gunk up your needle. Okay. Now, this also goes, all right, this doesn't gunk up your needle when you're hand stitching. It also will not gunk up your needle if you're using a sewing machine. Okay. So if you want to create these with a sewing machine, no problem there either. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of this glue stick on my bottom fabric here. And it doesn't need much, just a little here and there. And I'm going to put the soft side, the felt or the fleece side. It feels like felt. I'm going to put that down where it's grabbing. So this is my scratchy side. This is the glue side. Okay. Yep, I don't have one that's double glue sided. And now I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to grab my iron again. And I'm going to press over these pieces. And so what's happening is the heat from the iron is activating the adhesive on the fusible fleece, and it's fusing it or attaching it to the fabric. And it happens very quickly. All right, I'll turn that back off. Okay, so now then I've got a nice little sandwich. I can see this fabric. I have my fusible fleece in between, and I can see this fabric. So this is where we're starting. Don't worry if things don't line up exactly. We'll clean that up in a little bit, okay? So don't worry about that. Okay, Susan's telling me that Facebook is not letting her post active links. So that means you'll just have to like, you know, copy and paste the links. Or if you know, our shop website is just shop.misstraceycreates.com, and you can go and find the items there if you need to. Okay. I know it's been doing that a little bit. Actually, let me see if it'll let me. Let's see if it'll let me post it. It might. All right, let's see here. Oh, yay. Okay, let's see if it'll be active though. Okay, you guys try this link that I just posted and let me know if it's, you know, if it's an active link, if it's working for you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to show you how we're going to layer up the other pieces. So these are the pieces that we ironed, right? So we have this nice little crease right here. Now this is going to be tricky to you because we're actually going to be turning this inside out. Okay. We're going to be turning this inside out. So this is important. The cut edge, right? The cut edge, not the pressed fold right here, not the fold, but the cut edge is going to go against the outside of our square. The folded edge is going to be on the inside of our square. Okay. Now, as I layer these down, I'm going to use my twist up glue stick, and I'm only going to put a little bit here on the edges. Okay. There goes one piece. And now let's do this piece. So the next piece is going to go on right here. So again, just putting a little bit of my twist up glue stick, and I'm going to remember the cut edge is going on the edge, the outer edge of the square. The fold is on to the inside of the square. Okay. My link worked. Okay, awesome. Great. Okay, I'll keep posting it. All right, so let me keep going here. So here's my third strip. And again, every time, I mean, it's just temporary, y'all. It's just temporary. It's just a little bit along the edge here, just to kind of hold things in place for me when I get ready to stitch. Okay, now this is why I love using the twistable glue stick, because when we get ready to add in this last piece, our last folded piece, watch what I'm going to do. I'm lifting up the yellow. Okay, and because I used my temporary glue stick, it's super easy for me to do this. I'm lifting up the yellow. And again, the cut edge is to the outside of the square. And I'm going to overlap now this piece. So now they're all kind of layered together. Okay. This is what your little sandwich is going to look like. Yes, right now it's inside out. Okay. Right. Currently it is inside out. No, so our next step is going to be to stitch. Okay. Super, super easy. All right. Just follow these same steps. And I promise, by the time, especially since you're doing multiples for coasters, it's going to be, you'll be able to do them in your sleep. Okay. Yes, you'll be able to do them in your sleep. They're so cute. Okay. Yeah, Susan, don't worry. They can see my link. I don't know why you can't, but I'm posting it. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep on going here because now that I have my little coaster sandwich made, the next step is going to be to clean up a little bit. So if there's any, just kind of getting rid of some of the strings and some of the things. It's not super necessary, but it's just kind of nice just to clean it up a little bit. And then we're going to stitch. So this is where you have a choice. Okay. You could hand stitch. You could use what I'm using. I absolutely love these. Actually, you can machine stitch with these too. We have a wonderful collection of sulky threads. Okay. And these sulky threads are great for hand stitching. They're 100% cotton, 12 weight. And we keep them in stock. We keep multiple colors in stock, mainly to supply our Fabric Fan Club members with. But anybody can purchase these from us. And when you're looking at these, I just want to show you that they do have the hole here. So yes, you can actually use these in your sewing machine. Okay, so these threads you are able to use these in your sewing machine as well if you choose to. Now, as pretty as these colors are, all right, you guys, they're not going to show. Your stitching is not going to show on these fabric coasters. It's going to be hidden. So it really doesn't matter what color you use. You're not going to see it because, again, we're working inside out on these. Okay. So as pretty as the colors are, you're not going to see them. So if you have some threads you want to use at home, it's totally fine. I just want you to know my preference. These are my favorite ones to do any kind of hand stitching with. So when we get to this point, and I would actually do all the coasters, I would do all 6, like just kind of assembly line it, get them all to this point. And I just want you to see that I'm doing mine all a little different, right? So I'm using the same fabrics, but I'm mixing them up. So they're each going to they're going to have their own little patchwork look. I'm not making them identical, but I'm using the same 6 fabrics every time. So they're still going to look appealing and look like a set. Okay. That's why I'm calling them patchwork coasters. They're just super cute. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. So, the next decision is, do you want to hand stitch these? Or is it time to pull out the sewing machine that might have been sitting in your room with dust on it? Either way will work. We are only doing this. We're doing a stitch right here along all 4 sides. That's it. Just a simple stitch. Hand stitching, I'm just using a back stitch. Okay, just a back stitch, this side, this side, this side, this side. Okay, so I have one of my coffee ones already that I've already started hand stitching on, just so I can show this to you. And I'm going to continue this. So I'll teach you, those of you that don't know how to do a back stitch, I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's super simple. It's one of the stitches we use in the Fabric Fan Club 95% of the time, because when we're doodling with thread, makes a great outlining stitch. So I use this stitch constantly. All right. And it's perfect for your fabric coasters. So you'll see here, I still need to finish. I'm going to show you the back because I want you to see we don't care about the back. We don't care how this looks. We don't care if your stitches are all the same size or not. Okay. I don't want you to care about that because it's inside out. Nobody's ever going to see the stitches. Okay. Nobody's ever going to see the stitches. So let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and just do my hand stitching because that's what I love to do. And that's what I'm known for when it comes to fabric. But please, if you have a sewing machine, I actually have my sewing machine right down here because part of me was like, should I do this or not? Yes, obviously, if you have a sewing machine, your sewing machine will be faster, but that will rob you of the joy of hand stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and hand stitch. So I'm going to pull off some thread here. I'm just using this brown color. And I'm going to go ahead also and show you how I needle my thread. And some of you know this about me, and you've seen me do this, but I like to show it every time I'm live because I feel like I'm helping somebody out there. You guys, I struggle to thread a needle. I do. Do any of you struggle to thread a needle? Because if you do, you're just like me. I struggle to thread a needle. I'm terrible at it. I don't know if it's my eyes. I try it with extra light. I try all the things. I just am not good at threading a needle. They do make little handy dandy needle threaders out there. They have some really good ones now that are fairly inexpensive, but then they also have some that have lights on them, little LED lights on them, and those are nice too. So there are needle threaders out there that can help you, but I found a way that works for me without having to use any of that. Okay, so I call it, instead of threading a needle, I needle my thread. Okay, I needle my thread. So let me show you how I do this. I'm going to take, and you know what? I'm going to change my camera view real quickly for you. And I'm going to pull the camera down so you can really, really see my hands at work. And I apologize, you guys. I took my gel nails off and my fingernails look awful. And I have an appointment tomorrow to get them redone. So please don't judge me for my ugly fingernails. Okay, so here's the end of my thread. I only have to thread the needle once. I'm going to pull the needle to the middle, so I'm actually stitching with 2 strands though, and I'll show you that here in a second. So here's the end of my thread. Okay, I'm going to pinch it up into my fingers right here till I can just see the tip of it. And I'm going to take the eye of my needle right to the thread. Whoops, sorry. I have glue stick on my fingers. Let's get that off. And let's also make sure we have a nice crisp cut. Okay, so here we go again. There's the end of my thread. I'm going to pinch it up to where I can just see the end of the thread. I'm going to take my needle straight to it. You guys, that is how I needle my thread. And it works for me. I want you to try it. It works like a charm once you just kind of get it figured out. Also, needles have 2 sides. They have a front and a back. It's very hard to tell which is the front and which is the back. So what I want you to do is, if you struggle either threading your needle or needling your thread, okay, if you struggle with that, I want you to turn the needle over and try it on the other side. Okay, try it on the other side. So I want you to see that I pulled my needle to the center. So now when I'm stitching with 2 strands of thread. All right, and I'm going to take the tails here. So this is both tails, just separating it so that you can see there's both tails. And now I'm going to show you how I do a knot on the end of my thread. Now everybody has their own way of doing knots. I'm just going to show you my way. I'm going to take the tails and lay them over the needle and grab a hold of them. And I'm going to wrap 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, 3 times. See it wrapped around the needle. I'm going to point the needle up to the ceiling. And I'm going to take these 2 fingers, my thumb and my pointer finger, while I'm holding this tight. And I'm just going to pinch over everything I just wrapped. Then I'm just pushing the needle up, keeping my fingers together all the way through, and I wind up with a nice little knot. Okay, super easy. All right, so we're going to continue. You can see kind of here where my thread ended. I'm going to continue here, and I'm going to show you how to do the back stitch. So, and it doesn't matter which side you come up on, but I kind of like looking at this side as I'm sewing. So if I do need to move anything, you know, again, I've used my temporary glue stick, so everything's pretty well in place. So I have come up right here. There's my brown thread where I stopped. I'm always coming up ahead of the stitch, and I'm going to go back to meet the stitch I previously made. Okay, so when you're first starting, it'll just be 1 stitch here. I'm going to go up ahead of the stitch. And I'm going to go back to meet the stitch I just made. Kind of going down in that same hole. This is a back stitch. You are going through several layers. But again, the glue stick helps hold everything together. It's a temporary glue stick made for fabric. And I'm going to keep going. You're going to have a little bit of a border going around. Okay, so I'm stopping right about there. So we're going to have a little bit of the border of the fabric going around. And again, if the fabric kind of gets out of you know, moves on you a little bit, it shouldn't too much if you're using the glue stick. But sometimes, you know, I'm not a perfectionist. So like even folding my fabric, if my folds aren't, you know, exactly lined up, it's not going to matter because again, this is the inside. We're working inside out. You're never going to see any of this. So as I turn the corner, I'm again coming up ahead of the stitch, right? And I'm going to come back down to meet the stitch. Oops, got a little knot. Let me get that out. Here we go. Even if you get a knot, don't worry, because again, you're not going to see, you're not going to see this part. So it's a great project for beginners. No one's ever going to see it. I'm going ahead of the stitch, going back to meet the stitch. And I'm just going to go down this side. So we're doing this stitch along all four sides if you're hand stitching. If you plan to use your sewing machine, it's just a straight stitch. Okay, it's nothing fancy about this, just a straight stitch. Even the most basic sewing machine will work great for you. You're just going to pivot at every corner, right? You're just going to turn your coaster at each corner and stitch away. So I like hand stitching because it's just, I don't know, it's something I can do while I'm watching TV. It's something I can do while I'm in the car, while I'm in a waiting room, wherever. Something is just really soothing about it for me. So it just depends. You do you. And if you'd rather speed up the process, you can use a sewing machine. No problem. All right, and you'll be able to see my stitches better when I get over to this other fabric right here. This creamy fabric. And then I'll show you what we do after this step right here. So simple back stitch. All right, let's see. I'm going to grab a link to our stitching supplies. And that way you can see the fusible fleece will be in here. Our threads are in here. All those things. I'm going to post those for you real quick. And then the sale fabric is a different link. So, okay, I'm going to do that for you. And that way you guys can be looking at things if you want to while I'm finishing this stitch. So I'm posting two different links here. The Fabric Fun link is for our special deals, special fabric deals. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So again, you can probably see this better. I'm going ahead of the stitch. See there? I'm going back to meet the stitch. I really am not, I'm so not a perfectionist. That's why I call it doodling with thread, freestyle with thread. So again, it doesn't have to be the exact same size stitch. They don't even have to be perfectly straight lines. Anybody can make these fabric coasters. Okay, so ahead of the stitch, back to meet the stitch I just made. All right, we're almost to the end. I don't know if I'm going to have enough thread. I may have to re-thread or re-needle my thread, which that's okay. That'll give you guys a way to watch it one more time. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to end it. I just have a little tiny bit left there. So when you're ending your thread, you're just going back under a stitch, and it's okay if you even come up in the fabric a little bit and see how you get this little loop. Then I'm just going to take my needle back through that loop and just give it a tug, and that makes a knot. And you could do this a couple times if you want, but I don't think it's going to be necessary for these. So again, yeah, the backside is not pretty, right? The backside is not pretty, and that's okay. All right, let's stitch some more. So again, I'm going to needle my thread. Here's the end of my thread. Put it between my two fingers till I just see the tip. I'm going to bring the eye of the needle right over it and pull it through. And then I'm going to pull it to the middle. That way I'm stitching with two strands. I'm going to make my knot by taking the tails and just holding them. Okay, holding them over the needle. I'm going to wrap 1, 2, 3 times. Point to the sky, point to the ceiling. These two fingers pinch over what I wrapped and hold on tight all the way to the end. And I get my little knot there. I got a little loop in this knot. There we go. Okay. All right. So just have this little part right here to finish. So again, I'm coming up ahead of the stitch and then back down the hole that meets the previous stitch. And we're at the corner where I first started. So I'm going to turn it over. Again, I'm going to go under the stitch. And like I said, it's okay if you go in the fabric a little bit since this is on the inside. And then I'm going to go through my loop, tug that, and that is making me a knot. Okay, any questions on the back stitch? Any questions on the back stitch? All right, let me get myself back up there. Yeah, it's pretty easy, right? So again, this was our layer. I'm just going to show you. There's a square on the bottom. There's the fusible fleece. I don't have this one ironed, so just so I could show you. There's the top square, and then all of my pieces here. Let me take this one apart, and I'm just going to layer it up real quick for you. Okay. So bottom square, fusible fleece in the middle. Okay. Top square. Cut edge of our fold is going to the outside. I'm sorry, the cut edge of our fabric is going to the outside. Our fold is coming to the inside of the square. And normally I would be putting down a little bit of glue stick, temporary glue stick, to hold this down. And again, cut edge to the outside, fold to the inside, cut edge to the outside, fold to the inside. But on the last one, you're going to lift the first one up and you're going to layer it back down. Okay. Then you stitch. Okay. So I have the coffee one that we just stitched here. And after it's stitched, we're going to turn it back. All right. Right now it's inside out. So we're going to turn it back outside in. Okay. Yes, they're so cute. Okay, so I'm going to put my fingers in here, right? Can you see that? I'm putting my fingers inside all these layers that we just did. And I'm going to start pushing it back out. Now, when you do this, it may be helpful to have like I usually have a little skewer, or it could be the end of a paintbrush even. So I'm going to now just kind of work on each corner. Okay. Oh, I forgot something. Let me show you something else. Okay, wait. I got ahead of myself. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing that's going to help with this. Sorry. Oh, wait, this way? Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, sorry. Okay, I want you to do this. This is going to help with your bulk on the corners. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. I got excited. What can I say? So do you see the corners here? Don't cut the thread. Don't cut the stitching, but nip that corner off. And that's going to help us not have so much bulk on the corners, okay? Literally just nip the little corner off. Just don't cut your stitching. But this is going to help us not have so much bulk in the corners, okay? So that's an important step. Just nip off that corner without cutting your stitching. Don't cut your thread. And now let's turn everything back inside out, outside in. You guys know what I mean. Okay, yay. So now that we have this part, you can use your finger, but really just push into that corner. And if you need to, this is where like a little skewer can come in to help you. Or you can use, like I said, the end of a paintbrush. I use those. Sometimes I just use what's around me, you know. So I'm really pushing at that corner. Sticking my finger in there, really pushing that out. And here is our coaster. Isn't that just the cutest? Aren't they cute? They're so cute. And here's the back side. So do you see what I mean? You never see the stitching. Okay, you're never ever going to see the stitching. I need to push this one out a little bit more. And like I said, just push out those corners. They are going to look rounded. Okay, they're not meant to be pointy. They're going to look rounded. I like that. I like the rounded edge. I think it looks really cute. And so this is where we're at. Now let's go ahead and look at this one, right? So this is the coffee ones. And so all of these start out as those 5x5 squares. All right. If you came on late, make sure and watch the beginning because it's really simple, but there are steps. And I want to make sure you watch those. So then once I have them out and I make sure my corners are all the way out and everything, you can actually come back in if you want to and give them another press because we kind of messed with them. You know, we mess with them a lot. So if you want to come in and give them another press, you can. Now, there isn't one more option here because we have overlapped all of our layers. So you'll see on the inside, you can kind of see that inside layer right there. So it's really up to you. You could, I'm just going to leave mine like this. I know I have seen where sometimes people will do like a little stitching right here. I'm going to leave mine because if you do that stitch, it's going to go through, you know, the bottom edge of your coaster. I'm just going to leave mine just like this. I just think they are so cute. So I need to work on my corner. Looks like I need to work on this corner just a little bit more. So it does help to have a little skewer, just something to make sure those corners are fully out. And then, like I said, if you want to kind of help flatten them a little bit, you can just press down over them with the iron. My iron's actually not on right now. Okay, but I'm just showing you what you can do. Aren't they cute? So like I said, I'm going to be kind of doing different fabrics on different ones, still 6 fabrics, but I'm just going to kind of rotate them so that they look like adorable patchwork coasters. And then when you get them all done, especially if you're going to gift them or you're going to sell them in a craft booth or at a craft show or something like that, obviously like the coffee ones, I would think those would be really popular because so many people have coffee bars now. Coffee bars, or I have a coffee corner. here at this house. So, yeah, they're just really, really cute, but you could stack several of them together and then just tie a cute ribbon or some twine over them and sell them as a set. So again, if you have 6 fat quarters, okay, so if you decide to get our fun little summer bundle or the coffee bundle, right? The coffee bundle of fabrics. There's 6 fat quarters in those bundles. So if you have 6 fat quarters, you can get 2 sets of 6 coasters. So you can make 12 coasters. So you end up making 2 sets. Like I said, I feel like 4 is not enough. I feel like 8 is too many. So I think 6 is a good number for these fabric coasters. Yes. Aren't they cute? Yes, Janet, beginner. It's perfect for a beginner. It's so easy because again, you don't see your stitches, right? You don't see the stitches. It's just a really easy project. And I just think it's so cute, right? Just layering this fun kind of patchwork type look, right? And it turns out to be this cute little fabric coaster. Now, I personally think these could double as something else. Okay. I think they could be cute for like a little. I was just thinking about this because I was like, okay, well, maybe you don't want to make coasters, but how cute would it be? I mean, it makes like a little secret compartment in here. Maybe you want to put a little gift card in there, maybe a small gift in there. I don't know. And then when they get whatever it is out of it, then, they can re-gift it, use it again. It could be a cute little like jewelry pouch even, right? I mean, I know it doesn't zip, but it stays closed pretty well. I just thought it was kind of cute. I think it's just kind of cute. I think you could even put threads in there if you just wanted to carry a few threads with you in a bag if you're stitching. I don't know. I just think it's got potential to be other things. And then of course, always it could just be, used as an individual coaster for like your office desk or your craft table. So yeah, yes, how I cut my squares is I have a craft mat, like a self-healing cutting mat, right? And I use a ruler. The ruler I use has a little lip on the end, so it grabs the edge of the mat. So when I'm using my rotary cutter, I just use a rotary cutter. Let me grab, oh, I don't have it in here. I cut my fabric downstairs and I'm upstairs in my craft room, but I just use a rotary cutter to do that. Now, if you don't have those things, if you don't have a cutting mat and you don't have a rotary cutter, honestly, let me tell you another way. If you're just starting this and maybe you're like, I just want to make one, I want to try this, I want to make one, I want to see if this is fun, if I really would like to make more, right? If you want to make one, just cut yourself a 5x5 square. It could be cardstock, it could be cardboard, whatever it is. As long as you have a straight edge, a ruler, and a pen, just make yourself a little template, a 5x5 template, and then you can actually draw that out onto your fabric. We use friction pens anytime we're tracing templates on fabric because the ink from the friction pen, if you pop it with your heat tool or even your blow dryer on hot, the ink disappears. So yeah, if you have to, just make yourself a template, cut out 6 5x5 squares and make one coaster and just see if you like it, right? Don't forget that I do use 1 square of fusible fleece in there. So if you were making 2 sets of coasters, right? You need 6 fat quarters. You need 1 fat quarter of fusible fleece. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I think they're really cute. If you don't want to use 6 fabrics, then let's say you want to use 3. Well, then you're just going to cut 2 squares of each fabric, right? Like we have a really cute little mini fabric bundle in there in our sale that has bees on it, but there's only 3 fabrics, I think. So just cut them twice, right? So it's, and if you want to make them all match, they can match. If you want to mix and match, which is what I like, That's what I did. So this is my patchwork coasters. These are my patchwork coasters. Yes. So yeah, I'm going to post the link again to our stitching supplies. Everything, it should be in there. Actually, let me post the link to, I still have this link copied, the link to our sale fabrics. I'll post that really quickly. Susan's are not posting as active links, so she's, you'll have to like copy and paste hers into your browser. And then stitching supplies. Got a few things over there. Actually, I don't know if everything's under this. Let me grab something else for you. And then if you guys have questions for me, now would be a great time to ask them. Oh, it's hard to type here. Yeah, in our shop, there's a little search bar, so you can put in whatever you're searching for. There's the fusible fleece. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me do this real quick. All right, there's a link to the fusible fleece. Oh, they'd be so cute for pot holders. Yeah. So, okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. So let me tell you this. So if you made these larger, it could be like a trivet, right? Like a pot holder size to put a casserole dish down on. Not a, well, I shouldn't call it a trivet, but a pot holder. It could be, I mean, you can make them any size you want. You're still just, if you want to make it bigger, then it needs to be 6 by 6 or 7 by 7 or 8 by 8, right? It's all squares, right? So it makes it super easy, or 5.5 by 5.5 or 6.5 by 6.5. So anything like that. But if it's going to be a pot holder or anything that needs to be heat, like something that's coming out of the oven, all right, instead of using the fusible fleece, you can get this at your fabric stores. You can get it from Amazon. It's called Insulbrite, INSULBRITE, I think is how it's spelled, Insulbrite. And it actually has kind of a metallic, it's made for like, hot stuff. Like I made my own little ironing table from a TV tray. And I've made one from a cutting board. And I used Insulbrite on those because I'm using an iron on it, right? So Insulbrite is what I want you to use if you were going to make them actually into a pot holder, something coming right out of the oven, something casserole dish to sit on, something like that. If it's just a coaster like this, we're fine. We're fine. A hot cup of coffee is not going to be an issue. Okay. A hot cup of coffee is not going to be an issue, or hot chocolate or hot tea or any kind of a hot drink. It's going to be fine for this. The only reason you would need to use that Insulbrite is like oven. We're talking oven temperatures. Okay. Oven hot. Yeah. Yeah. Hot pad. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, Holly. Yes. Do you feel like you need a guide for this project, Carrie? If you guys want me to just write up some simple instructions for you, I'm happy to do that if you'd like. If you feel like that would be helpful. But it's pretty straightforward. The video, you'll have the replay here. You can watch the replay over on my YouTube channel anytime. You guys know with Facebook, you can watch this video here on my Facebook page. again, we have to deal with the whole 30-day deletion, but it will be on my YouTube channel for forever, or as long as YouTube is around, which I feel like will be a long time. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a really great thing. Yeah, I could do a blog post for sure. Yeah, we could do a blog post on it. We will have a blog post on it. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, we will be making a blog post on it. We actually do a blog post on all of our craft and chats, if you didn't know that. And you can see all of the blog posts over on misstraceycreates.com. Yeah. So if our blog post will be up, I would say by the end of next week. Takes a little bit of time to get everything written up. Yeah. Okay. But in the meantime, you can do this. You can do this. Watch the replay. I used 5x5 squares. Okay. Very simple. If you came on late, definitely go back and watch the replay. It's very simple and fun to make. It's a fun project. Honestly, those of you, if you have kids or grandkids that are at the age where you're teaching them things, young girls, I think this would be a great first project for a young sewer. So I'll have to, I'll have to think about this with my grandgirls. Both of my granddaughters are a perfect age. My younger ones, they're just kind of starting to do some stitching. So this would be a great fun project for them to help with too. Yeah. It would be so cute for hot pads for sure. Pot holders. Just remember, if it's going to be oven, if it needs to take care of oven type temperatures, okay, use Insulbrite instead of the fusible fleece. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys like this. And yes, I think the blog posts are printable. I'll double check on that and see. But yeah, I'll double check. Yeah, yes, if you went smaller, it could be a cute little ornament. It's just to me, it's just kind of a fun thing. I love the idea of it being a little hidden pocket, right? Like this. How cute would this be? Like if you gave this to a coworker, a little something gift, right? So it's a cute little coffee coaster. They can have it on their desk at work, but inside could be a coffee gift card, right? It could be a gift card or something. So I don't know. I see lots of uses for these. My brain's been kind of spinning. I could see lots of uses, right? Christmas time, Christmas would be so cute. Seasonal coasters, always so fun, right? Cute little stocking stuffer. I just think they're just really fun. So the other thing I want to tell you before I wrap up today is if you enjoyed watching this, if you enjoy and love fabric, if you want to learn more about hand stitching, specifically my style of hand stitching, I call it freestyle. It's basically doodling with thread. Sometimes we make things like this, these fabric fun projects that require very little stitching detail, right? Super easy. We also then have other projects that we do. If you're interested and maybe want to come and join us for a month, or longer, you can stay as long as you want. It's a monthly membership fee to be in that group. July is coming. In July, we're going to be shipping everybody a fabric bundle. We're actually going to be working on Christmas in July, trying to get ahead on the holidays. So a Christmas bundle is going to be going out to anyone that joins for July. Right now, we're working off of a wait list. So you can go and just go to misstraceycreates.com. That's my website, misstraceycreates.com. Scroll down and you'll see I have 4 different membership groups. If you're on your phone, you'll have to kind of swipe over to see them. If you're on a laptop or your iPad, you should be able to see the little icons there, and click on the one for Fabric Fan Club. That will get you on our wait list. And then we'll be filling open spots towards the end of this month. Okay. We'd love to have you. I also have an intro to stitching workshop series happening right now. So if you're interested in that, I'd love for you to check that out. And I'll put a link out here for that too. It's just intro to freestyle hand stitching. Really, really cute projects there as well. Let me see if I can grab that link really quick. You'll see it again. It's right there on my website, right? I mean, it's real big, right on my website, misstraceycreates.com. Check that out. That might be something that you'd prefer to do, is to try out an online class first, and then see if you think you're ready to come join us in the Fabric Fan Club. Okay. So yes, all of this, go to misstraceycreates.com. If you want to go to the online shop, just click the word shop over there and it will take you directly into our online shop. Okay. All right. Yes, I cut my squares 5 by 5 for this one. And then in the end, they wind up being about 4.5 inches. So you lose about half an inch. So if you know you want them to be bigger, just know that your square that you're cutting and the end size is going to be about half an inch smaller. Okay. All right. I hope that helps. Yes. So much fun. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you enjoyed today's crafting chat. I had a really great time with you today. So come join me. I'm generally here every Friday. And next Friday is going to be extra special because next Friday I'm doing the live reveals. So next Friday, instead of actual craft, I'm going to be sharing with you the live reveals of the shipments, the bundles that are going to be going out to the Fabric Fan Club, also to the Napkin Club. And I'm also going to share with you what's continuing and going on in my Faith Journaling group and my Page Builders Clubhouse. So yes, lots of ways for you to plug in and come get creative. Like my t-shirt says, make time to be creative. It's so much fun. It brings me so much joy. And I want you to feel that joy as well. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great weekend. Yes. Have fun. Maybe try your hand at making some fabric coasters. All right. Bye, everybody.